Welcome to another episode of
Brown Sock.
Tuesday.
Brown Sock.
Tuesday.
Hey guys, this is episode fucking
Random
18.
18.
30.
So I know it's not really like in order. Seth especially wants to know what's going on with that.
Daniel's taking
And
a big piss.
Daniel, yeah,
Piss
right
in a
the
cup.
mic.
Piss in a cup.
Okay.
It's tea.
Well, some of them are like the audio files are
All over.
They're
they're
trapped.
acting up.
They're trapped on a laptop that I cannot use right now.
Yeah, so that's
Strictly because my laptop broke.
they will be uploaded
So, yeah.
as soon as they can
possibly.
be.
As soon as I
in
can
a
pull the hard drive
cluster.
out and stuff,
It's gonna be like
I'll upload a bunch.
and
But for now, we're gonna continue from number
Whatever.
18 is what we're at.
I
Daniel
don't
says.
remember.
Anyway, so Daniel,
I had
has
an
a
interesting
problem.
thing happen to me before the podcast, and this has happened a couple times before.
every weekend.
Not every weekend.
Almost every
It's been
weekend.
like
Every
twice.
weekend- every
It's
weekend-
been twice.
every weekend he plugs something in that has to do with a computer and a microphone.
It's been twice that I've been consistently shocking myself. There's metal parts on the mic, and apparently for some reason, I have felt like I've been shocking myself.
Which
when
is
I'm touching
impossible because the
metal
mic
pieces.
is like half plastic.
Okay. So
Well, I'm not shocking myself on
I'm
the
not
plastic
supposed-
parts.
This
so-
is plastic.
Yeah, that is plastic.
That's not plastic.
That is.
Anyways,
That is not
I'm
fucking
going to
plastic.
explain.
It's
I'm
not
going to
metal.
explain
Yeah, it
why
is.
he does that. I'm going to explain. Okay, so Dan had an experience one weekend where he had shocked himself, right? On his
Oh.
laptop.
Yeah.
So, in his brain, stuff that's plugged into a computer or laptop shocks you. It's a trigger. It shocked him. And every time he touched that part of the laptop,
I also
it shocked
think
him.
this is this thing that he's talking about. While it may be true, I don't think it's true for this specific thing.
I'm just
because
from an outsider looking in. That's what I'm seeing it as. But there's a pigeon superstition. That's what they call it, where there's a button, and every time the pigeon touches the button, presses the button, food drops. So over time, they take away it when they touch the button, because they associate touching that button with getting food. So they stop making it so when they touch the button, as when they do at a certain time.
I think
like-
I know what you're talking about. I've never heard it called the
Yeah,
pigeon
I've just-
superstition.
I've just
I've heard it called it is conditioning.
Yeah, conditioning. That's what it
But
is.
yeah, but
What,
that's
Pavlov's dogs?
Yeah, that's what it
Yeah.
was. Pavlov's
ring
dogs.
the dinner bell?
But I've never heard the pigeoning part.
Yeah,
but
that-
it's basically the same
it's
concept.
same concept, and then there'd be these pigeons every
There is
15
one
or 16
problem-
seconds doing this weird thing because they think it makes them get food.
One
Yeah.
problem with that, though, is that it has happened once before this that I actually shocked myself a few times on this.
I'm just saying.
And
that-
I've had this
and
mic plugged in before.
I feel like
And it
you're,
hasn't.
you're understating how many times you feel like you get shocked. Because from
It
my
happened. It's happened 2 days overall.
I feel like
tonight and the one day at Pelicans.
me and Lauren are agreeing that I feel like this happens a lot to you.
Oh, why either?
Yeah.
I swear.
The thing is, today when he thought that it was shocking him, I just touched it because I wanted to see if it would shock me, and I was totally fine.
Actually, me and Dan created a circuit together where we completed an entire circuit.
Inside of each other.
Like I touched the that's messed
Fucking
up.
slut.
I touched the mic, I touched Dan, and then Dan touched the mic. And then I didn't feel shocked at all. See, I'll touch the
Are
mic.
you getting shocked now?
See,
Daniel's touching the bottom of the mic, and he keeps thinking he's getting shocked.
I think he just touches
No.
it and he's like, "Oh, I'm shocked because it's cold."
yeah, I don't know. I don't understand it.
No.
Anyways, so speaking
feel
of
it.
pigeons, I remember this thing I was watching in my psychology class about this one lady who had
Hold the ring.
A pigeon.
she had a paranoia of
Do anything.
birds
That didn't do it. That doesn't
and
do anything.
specifically of feathers. And so when she went in for therapy, Dan just shocked himself apparently.
I guess.
But I would-
Shocked.
By
himself.
Yeah, I would actually imagine that because he was
Hold it
holding a
on
metal ring and rubbing it against it.
Yeah, but it wouldn't travel through it very well if it wasn't metal.
Here's
But
your
it
ring back,
was.
sir.
Anyways,
I just did the same thing.
but this lady had a fear of birds and more specifically of feathers. And so she went in for therapy And what they did with her is they were gonna like build up to her touching a feather. Literally, the guy took a feather out of a box and he's sitting like 10 feet away from her, and she starts crying because she can see the feather.
Jesus.
And he spent like 2 hours getting the feather closer and closer to her until she was actually calm enough to touch it.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Feathers are gross though.
And when I say crying, I mean she was like flat out like scared to death crying.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Yeah.
Of a feather. Are we gonna do a voice jammer thingy?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're thinking about doing one of those and telling some stories.
Okay.
Seeing how funny it is. I
We
think before we get to that, we should talk about some other stuff.
Oh, okay.
Maybe save that for later.
just a little bit later.
So you guys know what Dragon Age is, right?
Origins.
I've heard of it.
Yeah.
Dragon Age 2. I played.
And you know it's an RPG and you run
Yeah.
around for multiple hours and stuff. Well, the new one that's coming out, Dragon Age Inquisition.
Uh-huh.
So the story in the game is probably going to take the average gamer about 20 to 30 hours to complete it.
That's
That's,
it.
that's a.
That's for the main story. If you don't do like any side quests or anything.
That's pretty good.
If you want to 100% complete that game and see everything there is to see, it's going to take 200 hours plus.
Yeah, and
Skyrim was
Nice.
3. I thought.
200 hours plus to see everything,
one thing I played Dragon Age
which is
2.
crazy.
I played Dragon Age 2 also.
I played the crap out of Dragon Age 2, and I thought that I unlocked all the characters for that, like because like you go certain places and you get
Yeah.
multiple characters. But I looked online, I was missing like 3 characters.
Yeah.
Because I just never went to some places because I never thought to go there during that time. Because in Dragon Age 2, you just like I'm gonna choose to go over here, and then after you do one of the main story missions,
It's like you can't ever go back.
you can't go back
Yeah.
and do that. So like the first time I played through, I felt like I got everyone, but then I missed this character that's really a super powerhouse that helps you get through a certain part of the game.
Yeah.
And
Like in the first one, there are 2 party members you can totally pass up and never go back and get them.
I didn't really like the gameplay out of the first one very much, so I didn't really get into the game, so I didn't buy it. Didn't.
Yeah. I didn't buy
Play the
it
second
until
one.
way later, until after all the DLC was out for it.
I didn't go out and buy Dragon Age 2. Someone bought it for me. I don't know who it was. I think it was a gift. And now, like, I played it when I lived out in Dora,
Yeah.
and when we moved back, it just disappeared. And
Alright.
like actually, like this weird thing happens in my house.
Like your cousin? No.
My
Wait,
Xbox. What?
This weird thing happens in my house, like your cousin.
Okay, I'm gonna continue on.
Like
Like
Lauren's house too.
my Xbox games will just go missing,
Alright.
and I'm like, "Hey guys,
Where's my
the
game?
games. Like, really, this happens all the time. Where's my games?" And I'm like, I'll be like, okay, whatever.
What are
I'm
you
just
talking about, dude?
Yeah, and it's like, I don't know where your game is. Nope, no clue. Nope, don't know. And like 3 weeks later, game just happens to be laying on my bed, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Oh, I
Thanks,
just
guys.
slept on it.
Oh, that makes sense because yeah, it makes sense. I just threw it on my bed 3.5 weeks ago and couldn't find it.
At least your brothers give it back.
Yeah.
I never got Dragon Age back.
I left Assassin's Creed Revelations at your house once, and we both had a copy of it, so there's no reason you would have taken it.
Mm-hmm.
And I still don't have my Assassin's Creed Revelations.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you have 4?
No,
Okay,
I haven't bought 4.
I'll give you my 4.
Why, you don't like it?
No compensation. Her
Compensation.
Oh.
Anyways, something
worries,
about
dude.
Assassin's Creed that I know Lauren is going to hate. Assassin's Creed Unity, they're putting microtransactions in it.
Are you kidding?
Yeah. It's going to be strictly gear only.
I'm
So I
fine
know.
with that.
Like, you
Fine.
actually have to pay to get any gear?
No. Microtransactions, you don't have to buy them.
Okay.
But
I
you
know
can buy
that,
'em
but I was
to
saying
get
that...
gear like sooner than you would.
That's bullshit.
Yeah.
I disagree with that because it's pay to
Yeah,
win
I don't-
experience.
I don't
We've
really-
been over this.
Care for microtransactions.
No, microtransactions.
And we've been over that a
Stupid.
bunch of
Okay,
times.
Ubisoft, go to, like, start going EA's way. Little cunts.
Yeah.
I don't like EA.
So,
Or King. King, I can deal with EA. But King, fuck King.
Fuck King.
Alright.
King, I despise
We
them.
get it!
we get that, Dan. We understand your
Uh,
dislike
I
for
know.
them. So today we had gone in a certain direction
Rhea.
What?
with our
Left, mostly.
Yeah. No, today we have started this kind of we put up a whiteboard and
General?
Oh, we re-whiteboarded.
we re-whiteboarded. So we have this whole new
We
setup
have
for a
another.
whiteboard.
We have another whiteboard now, so it feels
Getting
official.
stuff done.
That may not mean much to anyone else who's like listening, but just having this whiteboard means production out the ass for this
Yeah.
company.
Because we all we should do this
We forget it 10 minutes
later,
later.
Y'all are
and
gonna
we
help
don't
me.
do that.
Yeah.
Or we should do this, and we all talk about it a bunch, but we never actually do
You
anything.
should make a computer, Lauren, just so I don't have to edit everything.
Huh?
You should make a computer.
I probably will.
I'm
Yeah.
probably gonna make a computer too soon, so
Yes,
we'll have.
it'll make it easier.
So we all know about Robin Williams and his death and everything
Yeah.
about that.
It sucks.
But we also know that he loved video games.
Yeah.
Rip in
It's
peace.
something that
He
we also
actually
know.
named his daughter Zelda.
Yeah.
Which I'm guessing that's where you're going with this.
No,
He
has been immortalized in World of Warcraft.
and he's going to be in Legend of Zelda 2. They started a petition
Yeah.
after the World of Warcraft one, and Nintendo decided they were going to go
You
with
know-
it.
Awesome.
In the petition, the fans were asking that maybe he would be like a side character and his name would be Robin,
Uh-huh.
and you just talk to him and stuff.
Like
and in
just
World of
one the-
Warcraft, I think they're going with him being. I can't remember. I read somewhere about him
So-
being maybe multiple characters.
Dude, Robin.
And it's gonna be like his characters from movies that he's been in
Oh,
World of
that's
Warcraft,
awesome.
so he's gonna be multiple characters.
Robin in Legend of Zelda seems like a pretty lore-friendly name.
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
me. I don't know why.
Yeah. Well, the fans came up with it, so you know.
Mm.
Yeah.
I think it's cool.
It's really cool.
Batman should do something.
What? All right.
Batman and Robin, you know?
Williams.
Okay.
Batman
Anyways.
and Robin Williams. God.
That'd be awesome.
That'd be so dumb.
Yeah.
I'd love it.
That's when they're stretching it.
Yeah.
So
No longer Nintendo.
I was looking up stuff to talk about this week, and I went on Game Informer website and I was like, oh, I'll look up game news.
Yeah.
And I refreshed the page like 4 or 5 times. But
As
all that
impatient people do.
because I'd refresh the page. I would wait a minute. I'd wait a couple minutes. Nothing would load, so I'd refresh the page again, seeing if anything will actually happen. And the only thing that came up was on the very top. It was like Robin Williams put in World of Warcraft, and that's it. And it had a picture of Robin Williams
What are you doing?
What?
put in
We're
World of
taking
Warcraft.
selfies in the middle of the podcast.
Who are you sending those to?
A profile picture.
Anyways,
Hold on, let me take a selfie. No.
Fuck.
Middle of the podcast.
but yeah, so that's a pretty cool thing.
Yeah.
You know, having famous people get in games.
Yeah, and
Dude, my neck is.
I don't know. I actually really enjoyed most of his movies.
Yeah.
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 It's like-
Anyways,
So, Destiny stuffs were...
I don't really have
But-
anything to say about it other than it's coming soon and they're releasing like trailers for
Yeah.
planets and stuff. I don't
There's no release date for Halo 5, right?
No.
But
No.
there should be.
Yeah.
Why?
Because here's my reason. Here's my list of reasons.
If they didn't, they'd already have to sell
Why?
pre-orders.
They should put out a why they should put an official release date on Halo 5. All right. Well, first off, I want to know when it comes out, and then
All right.
secondly, I'm sure a lot of other people do too.
Those
Wow,
are two
good list.
shitty reasons. Those are two shitty reasons.
You like that? I made it up on the spot. So
Awesome.
It's
And-
early enough in development that I know you're trying to make a joke, but it's working. But
it's working.
But Dan wants to argue it, I guess.
no, it just doesn't make
And-
sense.
I'm just kidding. Take their time on it.
Yeah. And
I'd rather have a good game.
Yeah.
And we'll be making a Mashibana.
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 Mashugana.
Machinima.
Ivory Enema.
On that
Oh
on
god.
that platforming the Halo 5
in 2 years, pretty much.
in 2 years
Basically.
pretty much. You should expect to
Give or
have
take.
a
Thing in 2 years, pretty
thing in
much.
2 years pretty
There
much.
you go.
All right.
Roughly.
So I had this
You're welcome.
Little
crazy
painful.
ass dream the other night.
Oh,
me
Like
about it.
literally
Tell me.
ridiculous. All right. So
Mine was
in this
better.
dream, I decided. So in this dream, I'm not sure why, but I decided I was gonna drive up by myself to Jacob's uncle's cabin up in Dora that we stayed at. And the reason I had to drive up there is because there were animals out there that needed to be fed. So I drove up there and I parked my car and I was like, okay, I gotta make sure no one's here because I don't want to get in trouble for like breaking and entering. So I
And
go in the
feeding
house
their animals.
and I started making chili for the animals to eat. And like as I'm making the chili, I'm like, am I sure someone isn't here? And I'm just kind of sitting there making it. I was like, wait, I didn't check the back rooms in the house. And I go back there and I see someone back there. I was like, oh shit, I'm gonna get in trouble. And as soon as that happened, I heard police sirens going off. And I was like, no. So I ran outside and jumped in my car. And all of a sudden, there's just a bunch of back roads like all over the place. And I get in my car and I take off speeding. And these cops come out of nowhere. And Jacob's uncle comes out of nowhere, who I've never actually seen before. And he gets in a car and he starts chasing me.
Wait a second. So in your dream mind, you had created a face.
Yes.
And as soon as you saw that face, you automatically knew Jacob's uncle.
Yes, I knew that.
What?
And
So,
so
what did he look like? Because I'm just really curious.
Strangest thing
he
to
was
me.
like in shorts without a shirt on, and he had like a beard and like kind
No.
of fuzzy hair.
Trevor
No,
Phillips.
Anyways, no, he's bald. Anyways,
You didn't
So-
say he wasn't.
Not my Trevor.
I said he had fuzzy hair.
Oh.
My
Beard.
uncle does not look like that.
But
at all.
anyways, so I got in my car and I started driving, and like your uncle was like on foot, like running after me, so that when the cops got there, he could like point me out, and like he started doing that. And then the cops started chasing me on these roads, and I was just like flooring it down these roads, and the cops were still behind me. And then I
Criminal
came to
at
this one part where the road was straight,
Which
but there was
GTA?
also a turn off, and at that turn off, you could either take a U-turn type turn off, or you could keep going straight. And what I did is I went and I turned, but then I went the other direction instead of the U-turn. And I kept going down that road, and I was like, oh, the cops lost me because they kept flying by on the main road. For some reason, they didn't think I turned, even though they were like 5 seconds behind me. And I was like, okay, I still
That's
gotta
the
go.
best.
So I was like, okay, I still gotta go away from him. And I'm still going like 80 down these dirt roads, and I pass a big truck, like a Ford pickup or something like that. And I was like, oh, I'll go where they just came from because I'll never expect it. I don't know why I thought that. But I came to this hill that was like really, really steep, like, I don't know, maybe like a 45. And I was like, I'm going to take my Buick down that. So I drove it down that. But then I drove it into like this swamp type marsh thing
This
where
is
there was
my
already
swamp.
like a van that was stuck down there. And I got my car down and I was like, oh shit, now I'm stuck down here. So I got out of my car and I started running on foot. And all of a sudden I was in like a jungle. And I had on my worker's gloves from where I work with plywood. And I started using them to like climb through these branches and everything. But then
This is
I
the
got to this
most
point and I was like,
insane.
and then I got to this point and I was like, I should stop running because I feel guilty that I'm breaking the law. I'm just going to give myself up. And so I turned around and I'm like 25 feet away from my car, even though I've been like jumping through the jungle. And there's all these cops and people down there and Jacob's uncle. And I like put my hands up and start walking towards them. And Jacob's uncle
they
like
shoot you
runs
anyway?
up. No, and Jacob's uncle
Ferguson.
ran at me and he's like, you better stop. I'm like, I am. I'm giving myself. And he's like, oh, good. And he's like, where'd you get those gun
gloves?
association gloves? I was like, what? These are my workers' gloves. I'm like, whatever. And I walk to the cop and they arrest me. And then for some reason we go back into town, and when I get into town, they find a pistol in my car that I don't even own. And I'm like, weird, I don't own a pistol. And then the cop like takes it out and he like shoots one of the bullets, and I'm like, what the fuck do you do that for? And he's like, I had to discharge one of these bullets because the people around this town, they don't want to be scared of you, and if you don't show your manhood, they're gonna kill you. And I was like, what? It made no fucking sense. and then they put me in jail, and I woke up and I was like, where did all of that come from?
So
GTA.
funny
GTA is what I got out of that.
funny thing, actually. I had a dream that we all went out to Dora again,
Yeah.
and my uncle came out, and we all ran away.
Why?
I
Should
don't.
we be afraid of your uncle?
No, we
what
shouldn't
I'm
be afraid
getting
of my
out of it.
uncle.
What's with this irrational fear that you guys
Like,
have?
I just was breaking and
Program.
entering, and that's why I was scared.
Like,
I didn't want
like-
to get in trouble with the cops.
That was a lot more interesting than my dream.
And
About
then
the cabin?
About the chips.
Dan had a dream he ate some good chips.
that was it. And then like the next.
Well, that wasn't the
Chips
entire
are
dream,
dank.
but that was a part of it. But it was the only part of it that I remember.
Yeah, I remember like my whole dream. That's like one of the first dreams I remembered almost all of it.
I could see like when you were saying that you were in the cabin, you saw a person in the back.
Yeah.
That could have gone like a lot creepier.
Yeah.
That would have been fun.
Wait.
Could have like
Like I was gonna
that
get
was a
fucking
murderer.
murdered.
Yeah.
Usually my dreams make absolutely no sense.
Yeah, like that dream for me made no sense. The only things that were like relevant were the fact that I made chili, the fact that we were at the cabin, and the fact that I had workers' gloves. Only thing that made sense about that story.
I don't know if any of that made sense, really.
Not really.
To be honest.
Yeah, my uncle doesn't. Yeah, I'm like, does anyone else have the experience where their dream world is nowhere near, like, you know where you're at,
Where you live.
I don't know
Like-
what you're
like-
trying to say.
like
Like you know the area you're at when you're dreaming.
you're like,
Yeah.
oh, this is Dora,
Yeah.
but it looks nothing like actual factual.
Yeah, that's like
Not
what happened to me.
always.
All these back roads were there and everything, but it wasn't Dora.
I don't think that's ever
But that's
happened
where I
to me.
thought it was.
But I have had reoccurring dreams, like once a year. I'll have this similar dream, and it's in the same exact place. I don't know where the place is, but it's just there every time. And when I'm in my dream, when I first start noticing things, I'm like, oh, that's the same, that's the same. Oh, it's the place that I have once a year, and I look forward to that dream because something different happens in the same place every time.
I had a series of dreams once. It was about a few years ago, at least. I remember Lauren and I had talked about it, like a while before. This actually might have been like 4 years ago or so. I don't remember exactly. But
Long,
there were
long time
there was these districts in certain parts of the world. I have no idea where it was, but it was after
Countries?
this like certain like global catastrophe and stuff. There was this
Yeah.
very high tech area with like walls around it and stuff,
Uh-huh.
and then right outside the
Russia.
walls, it looked a lot like Mordor, and it was all fiery and stuff.
Alright.
And like somehow I got out of the gates at one point, and it ended on that part of the dream, and I was like, oh, that's weird. Went to school, did whatever, went back to sleep the next night. It came back, put me in similar positioning to when
Like
it was,
jumping
it
the
was
wall.
like jumping back into a game after you save and quit.
Weird.
And I went through, and there was these like Theron guards. I'm not sure if you remember those from Gears of War, but with the like lancers for one, and
Yeah.
the weird cloak thingies.
Yeah.
And I ended up like running and jumping into this cabin thing, and there was this chick there. She's like, "What the fuck are you doing?" And
There was a chick that had a man's voice.
What the fuck you doing? What you doing, boy?
she was angry, and that was the point I was trying to make. And I was like, "I'm just hiding from those guys. Be quiet and quiet." And she's like, "I'll fuck you up." So I ended up like climbing halfway down the ladder as they were passing. And
What ladder? Where did this ladder come
It was a
from?
cab. It was the
You know,
What cabins
cabins
have
have
ladders?
ladders.
It's kinda like-
You know out in Dora the cabinet, it has a ladder,
cabins
right?
have ladders.
Okay, I don't know what cabins you've been saying.
Yeah.
Cabins have ladders.
It was like a treehouse sort of thing,
That
except
should be
for it
on
was
a
carved
t-shirt.
into a mountain
Cabins have ladders.
with like Shrek's face on it.
So it was a
cabins.
tree house, not a cabin.
Yeah, basically.
Okay, that makes more sense than a
I said
cabin.
I climbed
Cabins.
up into it, so it made
Cabins.
more
Well, that
sense.
could be like I climbed through a window.
Ladders.
Yeah.
Or climb the front
Go
door.
down, and then
in.
there's this like river of like I guess it was like the emulsion stuff from
Oh,
Gears of
yeah.
War, kind of like lava, but not.
Were you playing Gears of War at the time?
Probably.
I might make some.
It was influenced by it. I know that. It was just all fiery and lava-y, and it
Yeah.
was kind of like Temple from Ocarina of Time. and
Which
stuff.
one?
12.
The normal one. The first one.
The first one doesn't have lava in it, but okay.
The second one does.
The lava temple. The
Alright.
hero when you're
Yes.
tall.
The hero,
What
the
game?
hero when you're tall.
Okay, what game and what temple are you trying to
I think he's
talk
talking about Ocarina of Time.
Just tell the
When
story.
you
go back to the
And
Goron
that's
story.
really where
The
I don't
second
remember
story.
how it ended, but I
Just
think
tell the story.
everybody
So
died.
you ended at the lava, and then you came back the next night, and everybody died.
Everything was dying around me. I think I was just like having girl problems in middle school. Everything just started dying.
All right.
Okay then. So I had a dream. I haven't told any of you about this dream. Lauren's in this dream.
Oh god.
Uh,
Leave me out of this.
so I
Fictional Lauren. Dream Lauren is in
No.
this dream.
like I was in is like Myrtle Point kinda. It was like I'd gone Myrtle Point, but I wasn't Jacob anymore, and no one knew who I was, but I knew everyone.
No one cares. No, just kidding.
He doesn't even go to this town.
I knew everyone. and Lauren was there, and for some reason my drama teacher
Yeah.
was like, "Oh, you're such a nice guy. Do you know this guy?" He was talking about Lauren, and I was like, "Oh,
Yeah, speaking
yeah."
of-
And then I'm like, "Wait, no one knows me. No one knows me
That was way too
at all." So I was like, "Yeah, I think I saw him in the hallway earlier." And that was like my cover.
What do you
for-
mean he's gone today?
Why did you feel like you needed a cover?
Because
I don't
like-
want to let my identity out.
no,
as
no,
myself.
because
People
no
might
one
notice.
knew because I wasn't Jacob,
Oh,
and I didn't know I knew everyone around me, but no one knew me.
yeah.
So it would be
I
like
would
really
love to have
freaky. So it'd be really freaky for them. I didn't want to be chased off as like
This weird fuck.
as this. Yeah, because I was like in the dream, I was
Hey,
afraid
what's
that
up?
everyone was gonna hate me and hunt me down and kill me.
Honestly, yeah. Sorry.
But and then we were all of a sudden camping.
Oh,
Most of the school had gone on this huge camping trip, and we had to build where we were camping.
God, that would be.
You had to
terrible.
build a camping area?
Yeah, we had to build.
Before
camping-
nightfall when the zombies come out.
Like, I don't know, but it was like okay, and then Lauren was in my group because it was like a group project. Like,
Did you see
Oh,
yourself?
of course.
no, I didn't see myself. But like, all right, now you guys have to build where you're camping for the next like whatever. And it was like, and then I woke up and like, that was weird.
Alright.
Nothing in a dream like really surprises me anymore.
Yeah.
I'm just like, oh, the car broke down? Okay.
Anyways.
For no reason? Okay.
I was gonna say that
If I knew more about cars, I might find out why it broke down, but
the weird thing that happened in Jacob's dream where he was somebody else, if I had that power, I would abuse the fuck out of it. Like, I would go to people and be like, "Are you la-di-da?" I'll be
And
like,
your
"What?"
favorite thing is?
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
it was scary because I
It
couldn't.
would be awesome. It would
No,
really
it was
scare the
like-
fuck
Be
out
like,
of
don't you
people.
remember me from the boat? Like,
like
The boat fees.
1942.
because I
When your
couldn't-
grandmother died, that was me.
I couldn't
What?
I couldn't
plot
connect.
twist.
I couldn't connect with anyone. So it's like all my friends and everyone that I talked to, all the people
Yeah.
I knew, I couldn't be like, hey, do you remember that one time we all went? Like I couldn't have that connection with people, so I had to start over,
Dude.
and I had to make up this whole like alias about who I was before I moved to Myrtle Point.
Welcome to me on a normal day. And anytime someone says, "Hey, do you remember that time?"
Oh
I'm
yeah,
just
like I
no.
sometimes
What happened?
I asked Lauren, like, cause I was friends with Lauren most of my childhood, and he doesn't remember any of it. It's kind of funny. We met in kindergarten, but like I was like, do you remember that one time? And he's like, no.
Before he even says the story, I'm like, probably not.
I'm like,
Continue.
I'm gonna tell you anyways, cause so you can have like this my
Fake
my
fun of
account
me.
my account of the event that we had together. Yeah,
I feel like Lauren would be the type of person who writes jokes and then about a week he'll forget about them, kind of like a dog being hit by its owner.
What the hell? What the hell, dude?
okay,
That
I was fine.
So dark.
I was like, oh yeah, and like a dog being hit by its owner. It's like, okay, I guess we're going that way now.
The worst part is, I don't know what he's talking about, but I don't want to find out.
Me neither.
It's just that you'll laugh
No,
at it
like-
immediately. Like as soon as you see the episode,
Oh,
like, that's really funny.
That makes sense because I do tell people jokes sometimes, and
Bad analogy.
they'll yeah.
And then they'll
Pretty-
repeat the
not
joke to
good
you
analogy.
later.
They'll repeat the joke to me later because they think it's like an inside joke now because we both know this thing and it's funny and they'll tell me the joke
Yeah.
and I'm like, that's pretty funny. Where'd you hear that? They're like,
You.
Like, what?
Oh.
That came out of me? What?
I imagine that's how you're gonna be meeting your daughter.
It's horrible.
Alright.
Yeah.
Okay,
Came
so-
out of me.
Okay, so some crazy stuff has been going on.
Daniel is like off something today.
Yeah. So some crazy stuff has been going on in Iceland. Dude,
Oh, that's true.
since the 16th.
That's the green one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, since the 16th, Bardabunga, which is a place in Iceland, They've had over 3,000 earthquakes.
Are you kidding?
Yeah.
No, I'm
That
not
would be
kidding. Most of them are really
dude.
small earthquakes, but they've like evacuated a ton of people out of the area
So bad.
because they think it might explode.
Yeah,
Like-
just,
like-
like straight up, like Earth is like, well, we need one less place. So,
But
You
then
know,
again, Iceland has been pretty active in the
yeah.
past.
Yeah, Iceland's-
Icelandish is the hardest language to learn, apparently.
I hear that about every
Or
language.
Icelandic.
Yeah, really.
Like it's like
No,
This
when
language
you,
is
when
the
you
hardest.
Look at it, man. Oh, it's rough.
I don't know.
remember there was
I
like
figure Latin would be
shit
very
was
hard
like
to
a
say.
really extremely long, complicated 4-syllable thing.
4 syllable.
It looked like it was 20 syllables, but all the
Like
silent.
German has super long compound words. Like
But the structure is similar to English, so it makes it
so
easier.
it's a Germanic. No, English is structured similar to German. Everyone's like, oh,
That's what
That's
you
the
just
same
said.
I mean,
thing.
like,
That's the same thing.
Not really.
not really.
What?
Okay,
We took
It's similar
parts.
to each other.
We took parts
Parts
from German.
German. Like
Well, yes,
we are
I-
a Germanic
I didn't
language.
say that we didn't come from it. I'm just saying that they are similar in
Right.
structure.
Yeah. But German has like.
I don't see how that's different.
Okay, I don't care anymore.
Anyways, we're moving on to what Jacob's saying about
Like
German.
they have like. This is the street. Like it's all one word. The street with the dog, on the left side with the big fence.
Because
and
that's
the-
grammatically correct in any language.
he flipped them off. Anyways,
and the tree that grows slightly
There.
taller
Yeah.
than the rest. Like it'll just be one long word, and that's the name of the street. Like that, it's just like this super long compound word, and they say it all, and it's just one word.
in Chinese, that's one word, and it's like 4 syllables.
Yeah.
And there's about 5 billion of them.
Yeah. I was watching this video that was one of the top viewed videos on YouTube a couple days ago, and I was like, oh, this is in French. Huh. I don't really know what's going on. I'm gonna check the comments and see what's going on down there. And I scrolled through the comments, and this one caught my eye, and this dude said, "From what little French I know, I have deduced that they are speaking French." And I was like, this dude knows exactly as much French as I do. I should hang out with them.
Yeah, like I like
We'll be
knowing.
like, do.
I like
Ça
knowing.
va?
That, I like
C'est bon? Oui.
when I know like a little bit of a language, and then I talk to someone that knows like about the same amount of that language as I
They
do.
will-
Like it's
Oh,
like this
yeah.
like little connection that you have. It's like, yeah, I wanted to learn this language, but I got distracted and I never
Shit,
really.
him?
Yeah, and then it's like, and then we're like, yeah, da da da, and I'm like, yeah, da da da, and then like, and yeah.
And it's gone.
You know, that's how it would be about Spanish if I actually cared about learning it.
Yeah, pretty much.
I've taken Spanish for 2 years, and I don't care to actually know the language because I really don't know the language at all.
Like, music is my language.
Aha!
It's actually it's,
You ever
it's
just-
considered a.
Coding is my language.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a bunch of those, so
Yeah.
I get to learn all those.
I get to
Money's
learn.
my language.
Boom.
English is
Somalian.
I'm gonna learn how to speak German though.
mine. Actually, coding's gonna be mine.
Make it hail.
Not really.
I make
Not
it
if you're gonna
hail.
be animation.
There's a lot of stuff you can fix with coding, and to make it go a lot quicker.
Yeah, we
Boop.
probably will learn a lot.
That's-
Anyways,
that was a good
so-
spike.
Okay. So the Navy is starting to use railguns.
Yep.
What do you guys think about that?
I thought it was.
Good idea, bad idea?
I like rails.
What's railguns? Is it like
Using
So-
magnets in order to...
Rail,
Increase
not
project-
necessarily.
slightly.
That's
is it
pretty
like
much
a
the main
railgun in
premise.
Halo?
basically a
Oh, it is?
railgun is basically a way that you propel an object with a lot of force and a lot of momentum without using an explosive.
Mm-hmm.
Huh.
And when I say object, it's not like the object has to explode when it hits. It can be just like a rock.
Mm-hmm. So like,
But you could propel it insanely fast in a short distance.
It's interesting to me.
Basically that.
Okay.
I'll put a picture
a magnetic
of it.
field. With,
I've always
Basically, it's like a current spins one way and a current spins the other way, and you put the object in it, and
It'll
it
shoot.
rapidly gains momentum, and then it fires out of it.
Basically,
So-
that's the way it does it.
Obviously,
is-
don't support war, but I support like the
Science.
technology boosts that it grants.
Yeah.
And so when I see like new advances in technology that are just amazing, that's really cool to me.
Because
there's-
you could use a railgun for other purposes, like
Yeah.
Like doing the
the
dishes,
idea
like
of
shoot soap.
No, like
the idea of like
Stains
of
gone.
propulsion. for,
getting out of orbit,
you could just have
getting out
that.
of the atmosphere. If
Yeah.
we could get a railgun that's strong enough to force an object out into space without destroying it, we would use that because it wastes almost no fuel.
It's such a low impact.
It'd be using a
Just
lot of
like-
electricity and
Just
not
like a space
any-
elevator is incredibly more beneficial than using fuel to get to space.
Yeah.
Even though nobody's figured out how to build one yet, and whoever does is probably gonna be the richest person in space history.
I'll do it.
So there's those
Space history,
like
not Earth
combustion
history.
brakes. No, it's not combustion. What are they? They use them on like log trucks and stuff. There's a type of brake. It's compression brakes.
Yeah.
Something
Yeah.
like those. My dad worked with the guy who made that.
Cool.
And that guy was really rich and stuff.
Huh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
yeah, because innovation
Yes.
makes you money.
So we were looking at different shirt designs that we thought
Oh,
were funny
God.
and it's just funny stuff to go over. And I saw a reoccurring theme, and that reoccurring theme for me was Sasquatch.
Okay.
This question.
I don't know what's so funny about Bigfoot and Sasquatch. Maybe it's because I'm from Myrtle Point, but that just
Be a
comes up
squash
so
in these
much.
moods.
Squatch you gonna do, you know? And
Wow.
That actually, I've heard
That's
that
funny, though.
Sam
in
Squatches.
class.
Squash
I've
you gonna
heard
do.
"What you gonna do" in class before.
They probably. I would assume that they're just weird speaking and stuff.
And so I've just thought about it, like, do you guys like believe in like
I thought we
not
talked about this
necessarily
last week.
Sasquatch, but like Sasquatch is basically a theory or an idea. Is there any like conspiracy theory or idea or anything that you guys think is plausible or true or
Any
anything?
conspiracy theory? I
It
think
really-
is plausible.
There's definitely plausible ones. I can't think of really any because I don't pay attention so much to it. But you have to think about it from like an outside perspective. Like, what are they trying to say is conspiracy? Using a like the moon landing as an example, 'cause
Yeah.
that's the easiest one. People say that the flag was moving or whatever. Which, yes, incorrect. I completely believe that the moon landing did happen.
There's MythBusters proved that
Flags would not wave in a vacuum.
they would
They
wave
do wave in a
the vacuum.
Okay,
They
maybe I
would-
was
They
wrong.
don't stay completely still. I mean, it's like
Yeah, it
If
would settle.
yeah,
if it's something, if there's a force acted on,
but it
something,
wouldn't be
it'll
windy.
move.
yeah.
And no, in the
And
video, it doesn't look like it's waving because of wind. It looks like it's waving
Because
it
they
was settling.
touched it. They were
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a direct. It was a response to something. a
Yeah,
force
that's
acted
what I was
on it.
meaning. Is that there's a lot of people who say, "Oh yeah, the moon landing didn't exist or didn't happen."
Didn't exist.
Didn't exist. Didn't happen. Like my boss.
Yeah. Anyways,
Um,
so is that the one you believe in, Dan?
no, I don't because I
Okay,
believe
and
they
they
also-
also Lauren asked
moon
us,
landing-
and you completely.
And they
went
also
different
have,
direction.
It really depends. Like you
There
can
was
see
an
loopholes in
example.
what might have happened and the proof that that happened, but the conspiracy theorists, they don't see the holes in their own arguments.
Yeah.
So
That's what
you just have to
conspiracies
weigh
are.
it both, or you have to weigh them both. And
That's what making an educated decision.
I don't have
is
like any conspiracy theories really.
Illuminati. No, I'm just kidding.
I think that's just bullcrap when people are just stupid.
Yeah.
Because why would the richest people on Earth control the Earth when they're already fucking the richest people on Earth?
That
Like, what's the
probably
point?
control the Earth anyways.
Yeah. It's just like
Well,
Publicly.
That's,
They're
not,
not.
that's not exactly Illuminati, though.
Cthulhu. Yeah.
Cthulhu, the god of my everything,
That's just media.
god of my dreams.
That was a false idea on a, or maybe not. That was an idea on media controlling, or top media is being controlled by this thing, and yeah, that's just media though. That's not the richest, like, you know, because the conspiracy theorists all say like the it's hollow money basically. And it's really just for the looks and the flash and all that. And yeah, famous people are like, if you just want to make money, then why are you trying to be famous? You know, that's not the way to make money. Like,
Are you
sure
sure about that?
Well, they'll
Because once
say
you
it.
become famous,
They're not.
you do commercials.
Bill Gates
and
wasn't
get
an
money.
actor, dude.
No.
You know what I'm saying?
But he invested in a company and made a bunch of money.
Right.
He was
So
smart
And
with his
famous people
investments.
are rich because they're famous and they get commercial
Yeah, but-
deals and advertisement deals.
yeah, but
Carnegie was pretty smart with his investments. He worked for the
Yeah,
railroad
and then he
after being
became
a lobby
famous
boy.
because he made a bunch of money.
Carnegie.
And
Well,
famous people make money because they became famous.
Well, they make money because they were making money, and the money is what made them famous. Because they were making money and they were the head of this company. That's
It's
what
two
made them
different.
famous.
It's two different lines.
It's not like
Yeah.
they were saying, "I'm gonna go out and act and become famous that way."
Yeah.
It's two different ways. He's
Either
famous
you make
because
the
he
money
owns
first
something.
and you become famous, or you become famous first and then you make money.
He didn't make commercials.
I'm not talking about him!
Dan, you're like, let's use this one example from when America was in the Industrial Revolution, and
That's what I was using as an example, and it seemed to work to the contrary. So
yeah, but that was
It is.
that was because
Anyways, let's just move on.
No. Okay.
speaking of
Yeah.
headphone flinging,
Let's not yet. I still have things to talk about.
fine,
Boom.
go for it.
we still
I
have
think.
stuff to talk about.
We have enough time to do it. I don't
So,
see why we
uh,
don't just do it now.
Oh.
Would you guys ever
Yes.
Maybe
go
depends
to
on
a
what the
museum at night?
yeah.
Yeah, I don't see why.
Are you saying? Are you asking me if I'd spend a night at the museum?
No, I'm asking if you'd ever go to a museum at night.
Oh, sure. Fuck
Yeah.
it. Yeah. Why not?
Yeah, really?
Why not?
Okay, well, there's this new tour thing that's going on in Britain. They're at this Tate Museum. I don't know where it is. But anyways, they're going to have robots go around and film the museum at night. And people can get on your laptop and you can actually like link into these robots and go around and look at stuff. And
That's
there'll actually be
weird.
like tour guides in the museum like talking to the robot and everything.
What's up with that?
That's creepy. Like, why don't they just run it at night?
Because it's when all the thefts happen. I don't know, but they're gonna do that.
Because
and,
night
like,
is
you
when the
can,
bad things
and you can
come
log
out.
into them from your computer, and you can like, if you're lucky enough, you'll be able to actually control them and go look around the museum with a robot.
Mm-hmm.
So
That's if
fine.
they're not on a busy night.
Yeah,
It kind of reminds me of Five Nights at Freddy's.
which is huge right now.
Yeah,
yeah,
it
it is.
definitely took off. It,
That
Yeah.
game, like, there's so many
It's only
people
like $5.
pointing out like,
their resemblances to other things.
no, plot holes in the like. What? Why would they be
What?
these mechanical people? Like, why wouldn't they just turn them off? Why do they need a security guard guarding this empty?
Also-
whatever. They come up with a bunch of like.
Like, why do they need a security guard to guard
Yeah.
this place when there's already robots that will kill anybody
Yeah,
that's in there?
exactly. And a plot that's like, and why isn't he dressed up as one? And I'm like, you know what?
It's just a fucking game.
Not only is it just a game, but
It's
it's
a game
like
that you
it's
don't have to
set up
play.
enough to know what you're doing.
Yeah.
So like, I really don't see what the problem is.
Yeah, it's like, and then
I'm like, sure, it's fake. Gravity had a lot of plot holes in it too, but you don't see people talking about that unless they're Neil deGrasse Tyson
and
Gravity, though.
and
Like-
me.
and it's like, why would he go back the second night? I wouldn't.
Yeah.
Also, there is
The
one
pay
other
was
thing.
good.
Is that there's a guy who talks to you on the phone, and apparently he's like on his last week as a security guard or whatever. What time is he guarding? That
He's not on guard.
No, he quit.
Just left. Like,
Yeah,
oh,
and you took his job.
but
And leaving. He
He's
leaves
giving
you
you
messages.
advice.
He doesn't actually like call you. He leaves you messages.
I thought he leaves you messages after like each
no,
night.
he calls
He'll call
you,
you.
but you can't answer the phone because you can't move. And
All
you're
you
stuck
can
in a
do
box.
is go look down, press these buttons on the side of the wall.
power on, power off.
The one thing like
Light.
Closed
that
doors.
guy, I thought he was calling you each night like, "Hey, you made it again. Cool." Or did he actually just like
Get
leave-
ready to die.
Or was it like a week before you recorded these things like, "Oh yeah, by the way, good luck if you made it to this night or whatever." And he's not actually like progressively saying those things.
Yeah.
I wasn't sure exactly because there's some things that happen to him towards the very end, on the calls and stuff.
Yeah.
And it's like, how did he record those if the other guy's being the security guard? It's like,
Alright.
how would he get those things happen to him if he's
Alright.
not actually on duty? It doesn't make sense.
Okay, so Dan was confused about that, but I was also confused about the museum thing I was talking about, because, like,
Yeah.
when I first started reading it, I was like, what? This is stupid. People are just gonna, like, steal the robots and then the art and leave the museum. And then I kept reading, I was like, oh, there's not actually people there.
Oh.
But that's different than spending a night at the museum.
Yeah, they do that. There's
Have you guys ever been to a museum?
yeah.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, multiple.
I've been to Smithsonian
Been
I
to a
wanna
bunch
go
of
there.
art
Brag about it.
and
museums.
the Space Museum. Dude, the Smithsonian is fucking crazy. They literally have a cave in the museum
Mm-hmm.
for looking at rocks. It's freaking crazy.
I'm going to later this summer. I'm going up to McMinnville, where they hold the Spruce Goose, the big
They just
airplane.
hold them.
Yeah.
They hold
Okay.
it there. They have it, and I'm gonna go up to the Aerospace Museum up there, look around, because I'm going clothes shopping in the Eugene area, and we're just gonna go up there for a day.
Cool.
Which is really cool. And
Yeah, I've driven by that a bunch of times up there, but I've never gone into it.
well,
Have
I
you been
went
to OMSI? That's like up
No.
in Portland, right?
I went to that, yeah.
OMSI's kind of cool.
The only time I ever go to Portland is to
I-
visit my uncle, and he was on like the edge of Portland. So
I saw a bunch
I've
of
never actually been in the
plastinated
middle
people.
of Portland.
Oh, yeah.
Mannequins?
Plastination? No, they're well. I guess now they are technically,
The
but
people
there are people.
that are dead without skin.
Yeah, kind of. They like change they drain the people of the blood basically, and they pour in this like plastic resin that hardens everything that's inside them, basically to a thing where it's just plastic at that point. The chemical bonds change, but like the tissue stays the same shape and everything, and it looks really weird. If I have any pictures or whatever, I can show you what those look like.
You just
But they're
look it
real
up.
people, and it's creepy.
I went,
Alright.
when I went up to OMSI, I'm not really a big science person, or actually I'm quite the opposite, but, so it's kind of weird for me to go in the first place, but they have a exhibit section where they just they roll in different exhibits, and they just shift them all the time. It's changing for like a week. They'll have an exhibit there, and then they'll change it.
Yeah.
And I was lucky enough to get to see a Da Vinci exhibit, and
That's
it was
awesome.
like just dedicated to Da Vinci's works.
I would have loved
and-
to go to that.
Yeah, it was pretty cool. There was all these flying machines and like strings and everything, and
Yeah,
I was
You've
like,
been at the
"This is amazing.
parachute.
This is awesome."
I went to the Seattle Science Center, which is like OMSI on crack. It's like it's
crazy.
like 5 buildings, and they're like multi-story,
Yeah.
and it's like, and there's all this cool stuff, and it's in the middle of the Seattle Center,
Nice.
right next to the Space Needle. So is the EMP Museum, the Experience Music Project Museum, which is an awesome place for musicians. I would suggest going there. It's worth all the money. It's worth
All the money to go.
it's worth it. It's such an awesome experience. And they have a sci-fi exhibit, and they have a Dalek, and they have all this like sci-fi stuff. and it's-
Dalek, like Doctor Who Dalek.
like a Dalek, like a Doctor Who Dalek. And they also have they have the chair from Star Trek.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
Cool.
And they have all this cool stuff, and like all
Yeah.
the
Oh wow!
and they have a horror
It's quite
movie,
interesting.
thing, and it's just every time I go to Seattle, I go there,
Yeah.
and it's like it's one of my favorite things to do in Seattle.
Just become a curator there.
Yeah.
All right, and so that's the end of our sponsor section. So let's move-
None of
now
those
let's,
places actually sponsor us.
Yeah.
Obviously.
just talk so highly of them.
I've pretty much talked about everything that I had listed for this.
Yeah.
We could do the speech jammer.
You guys can just. I don't know if you guys have anything else to talk about.
I totally do.
I don't really, but
All right,
I want to
let's-
try the speech jammer.
I'll go first
all right.
because I know the story I'm gonna tell. So we've done this once
God.
before on the podcast, and so I think Daniel and Lauren have heard the story, but I don't think Jacob has, unless he was there when we did it.
No.
No, I've never speech jammed.
All right.
All right.
Okay. So
What's the title of the story you're gonna tell?
Jake's the monster.
Jake's the monster.
Yeah. Oh, if you guys don't know, that's my real name.
Yeah, it's Jacob Pelk.
All right, is it going?
Pels. Now it is.
You corrected him with exactly
It is.
what he said.
Hello.
I was
hello?
saying really
Yeah.
Pelk.
Okay, so
It's
everybody
Pels.
quiet down.
Oh, sorry.
No,
Right.
fuck you.
All right, so when I was a little kid, oh my god, it's
Wait.
Oh,
Can we explain what this is just for a second?
Yeah,
Yeah.
we
Alright,
probably
so
should.
we have this app. It's Speech Jammer. Go out and
Awesome.
get it. It's pretty fun. We have a free version, and you plug in your headphones. It replays a delay of what you're saying back into your head as you're saying it, and for some reason, that makes your brain all
screwed up.
wonky and like strange. So
The one thing that happens with it that kind of seems to make sense is that, or that needs to happen, is you need to not be able to actually hear yourself speak. So you need
yeah,
noise canceling headphones, basically.
Yeah,
Um,
but you can hear yourself speak through your head.
Yeah. It,
Right.
Yeah, so
resonates.
it doesn't really work.
Yeah, but
That's why your voice sounds different.
yeah.
Anyways, so
all right.
let's start
So
this.
back to
Hello.
Pelican
Hello.
story.
Hello. It's not going.
That's not started.
Oh.
Go.
Alright, so when I was a little kid, my cousins and my brother would play this game with me.
Well,
You guys can't laugh.
no.
Because it messes
It's
it
just
up.
a story.
Alright, so the game that they would play is a bit like tag. The only problem is I would be it all the time. And it was be called Jake's the Monster. So basically, they would be in a room with me. And they would like tag me and be like, Jake's the monster. And then they would run off, and I would have to just chase them down and try and tag them so that they would be the monster. But they were always bigger and faster than me. And
Yeah.
when I would catch them, what would happen is I would tag them and be like, now you're the monster. And be like, nope, we're not playing anymore, Jay. And I'd be like, what the heck? And so I would get mad and sit down. And then they're like, Jake's the monster, and they would run back out of the room, and I would have to go chase them again. And this
Yeah.
went on for like a couple of years, and I just have always hated them for it, and they still make fun of it, fun of me for it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to try this thing.
Oh,
that's a good
I
story.
want to try this thing.
All right.
I think you told
do you have a story?
I have a
Because you have to like continually go, or else it's hard to get it to work.
I'll tell the English story.
You can't really tell you're messing
I
up.
think you told it in a better way than you did last time.
Yeah.
I did.
I got lost in you said you were talking about walls or something last time.
Oh yeah, I told multiple stories last time.
Okay. So
I'm trying to think of the story.
Pretty much I told stories.
if you can't
but
think of the story, just like try to explain the basic premise
or
of
try to explain something.
like Legend of Zelda.
or say like this is
Or
these
do
are
one
the
of your
chords I
facts.
use.
Explain one of your facts.
Explain something. I'll
Be like,
explain
these are
some
the-
stuff about
this
music.
This is how you
Yeah,
play
actually
a chord.
do that. Since
Oh,
you know a lot about music, just explain some
A
stuff about
A7 G minor and you put your fingers on the whatever.
music. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it working?
Yeah, it's working. All right. Okay.
Yep.
So, when you play music, there's a certain way you structure chords that have to do with scale degrees that you organize. Usually, those are organized in thirds, and you play the third.
Just go.
And once it's usually a 1, 3, 5, depending on the scale. But if you want to make a
Stop doing that.
I'm gonna go to a different. Dan is stopped.
What?
Is stopped.
Oh, the
Oh, why-
app seems to have closed.
What the hell?
For some
It
reason.
is stopped on me.
Weird.
Sorry about that.
So there are different scales.
Is it
Is
ready?
it-
There are different scales and different modes. There's I don't play like Max after lunch, which is it's the way you remember the modes. It's like iatonic, diatonic, Phrygian. No. It's like iatonic, diatonic. There's other things, but I don't know if this is messing with my head. It's weird. But when you play in the key of C, you're playing in a diatonic mode, which is just the notes of the scale. But there's like when you change the mode, you can stay in the same key, and it can change what the song sounds like. So like, and if you're playing a Mixolydian mode, it's a major mode, and when you're playing in a Phrygian mode, it's a minor mode. So it sounds more minor than Mixolydian.
Good.
That's good. It wasn't that bad. It was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Daniel?
I wanted Lauren to go first.
That's good. You're going.
Neither of them have a story if you haven't guessed.
I was just talking about music, and
Yeah.
I kept on messing up.
Do you not have a story yet, Daniel?
Well, I don't really have a good story that I'd be able to tell.
Neither did I. I just sat there and talked about modes.
I can if you want me to.
I don't remember exactly what I was saying or the last time we tried this. So
All right. Well, you think of a story while
I
I
like
go.
stories.
I'm going to talk. Fucking shit! Am I already like?
Yeah, you're already messing up.
Because
What?
we heard
Because
Jacob and
I was
you picked
listening.
up on
No,
it.
I was listening to both you guys talk, and now I'm already like weird about it.
learning by osmosis.
All right, I'm going to talk.
It hasn't started
today.
yet, so
I
you-
know. Today I'm going to talk to you about my
Well-
swimming workouts that I started at the beginning of summer. So here we go. Is it on?
Yes.
Now it is.
Okay.
How bad is the delay?
Just
It sounds really loud.
You guys are loud. Okay.
Dan, you have it turned up.
Good.
All right.
Tell me what's
I
a good
can hear
volume.
myself.
Volume,
And,
volume.
Do you need up more or down more?
up a little. Okay. That's good. If you guys don't talk.
All right.
Okay, so I went swimming for like a workout at the beginning of the summer, and me and Chase, we were in two different swimming, we're in two different swimming categories, and so I didn't really get to be in a group with anyone I knew, but my teacher was pretty good, and like I wasn't a bad swimmer to start with, and I don't know, it was Boy Scout camp. I used to go and swim a bunch, and like I didn't really learn anything. I just was doing it, and so when I was doing these workouts, I felt like I was doing better, and
Are you all right?
yeah, but
We all have this moment where you just can't get past the moment of your brain
Keep
just doesn't
going.
work.
But dives is the part where I was having trouble because some part of me didn't want to do like the whole head first thing, and so yeah, that was the hardest part for me. And I would start. We did the sitting dive, and where you just fall in the water, and then we went to a kneeling dive, and that was where I had the most trouble because I didn't know you're supposed to lean all the way forward. But yeah, I got some good belly flops in there. I was red, and when we got to the standing dives, I didn't really have that much of a problem with it. But go ahead.
Dirty.
Careful.
Let me lick the monster off my arm.
Okay. It didn't shock
Yeah.
me.
And the dives were like it was hardest when I got to the standing part.
What happened in the standing part?
Well, at the standing part, it's for me like naturally I couldn't convince myself to fall forward like I was supposed to, and I kept like leaning my top half forward over the water and then just jumping and cannonballing. And once
It closed again.
Really?
I'm
Yeah.
opening.
I have no idea why it
Sorry.
keeps closing.
Sorry.
Yeah, I put it down, I think.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, after that I got to the point where I could actually do the dives into the water like totally fine, but for some reason once I was in the water I couldn't correctly align myself by like going out, so as soon as I hit the water I would just curl back in and do like a front flip underwater and come back up, and the teacher was always like, you did really good except you don't go that way, you other way. And I'm like, oh, okay. And then I try it, and then I'm face down in the water trying to go the
Out.
right way, and it doesn't work, so I just curl back under again, and I don't know why that part was so hard for me. But yeah, that's good. That made me a better swimmer, and when we went out to Jacob's cabin, I felt pretty good when we got out of the river, and yeah, well, now I can swim better. Better.
Good story, Lauren.
Thanks.
I feel
You
like
did pretty good.
Did
I feel like
Got halfway
Pelicans
through
had
it.
the hardest time.
Because I went.
You didn't hear yourself, man.
I know I didn't hear
You
myself
went a
a
lot.
lot. Yeah.
Anyway,
So,
you got that story?
How about that
I was
story,
trying to
Dan?
think about stories that I have.
Talk about your Halo 4 tactics.
Yeah, dude.
Shoot first, ask questions later.
Okay, what's next? That's it,
Um,
really? Don't have too much of a tactic for Halo 4. I think I was just going to...
Talk about your favorite assassin and why.
that would be a better story than what I had
There you go.
planned. I was thinking about just talking about the basic premise of Death Note.
Yeah, talk about Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, that's good.
We understand that.
Okay.
How much? What are we at?
101. Let's
Okay.
do,
Keep-
actually.
Yeah, well, we'll do Daniels and then end
And
it.
then we'll probably end it on that.
Alright, so...
It's not even
I
on.
have,
You haven't
I have
even
to
hit
yawn,
start.
and that's weird.
Okay, you
I
ready?
have to yawn. Well, it doesn't matter.
Okay, just go.
So my favorite assassin is Ezio.
Is it? Why?
What?
Why?
Why? Talk louder.
Oh. My favorite assassin is Ezio.
What's his
He's
full
from
name?
Assassin.
Full name?
Okay, 1 second.
No, just keep going.
It's Ezio Auditore da Venenze. He first takes place in Assassin's Creed 2, where his father and brothers are murdered by Rodrigo Borgia. Yeah, I think so. And he starts his quest to go kill all these bastards. And then it goes into Assassin's Creed Brotherhood, and that takes place mainly in Rome. And some stuff happens there. There's a Colosseum there.
What happened in Rome? That was
He
direct.
killed a bunch of dudes.
Well, explain.
It's
Yeah,
pretty
just
cool.
let it go.
Mostly Cesare Borgia. Yeah, Rodrigo's something.
Son.
Son? I don't know. He's kind of a bastard.
Friend.
He's family.
Yeah.
Your family.
Other than that, he ages over time, and
That's good.
it progresses into Assassin's Creed Revelations, and he goes by and he finds Duccio, and he beats him up. The guy's name is Duccio. It was the guy who cheated on his sister when they were engaged to be married, and he beats him up in Assassin's Creed 2. Finds him in Rome, beats him up there, finds him in Constantinople, and beats him up there for a final time. which is weird
Mhm.
because I kill him after every time. And he finds this chick. I think it was Sophia, and he ends up becoming with her. And
Becoming with her.
Shut the fuck up. And like they end up having a kid, and after all his business is done as the assassins and whatever, he dies old and in a villa after he talks to Xiao Jun, which is some Asian assassin and stuff. And I felt like I got to actually know that character pretty well.
So,
And I liked his character very well.
out of
much.
the 3, which one's your favorite?
Of those
The
games.
For gameplay,
And
Assassin's
why?
Creed Revelation. It's because there's so much more to do. Like you get. Oh,
It closed again.
yeah. I don't know why. 1 second.
I think it's because
You get like parachute, hook blade, whatever. And I remember just throwing a bunch of guards off of rooftops. And, but for story and other things, I mostly liked Assassin's Creed 2 because there was so much more that you could do. Yeah.
Okay,
Um,
it's good.
and yeah, Ezio felt like his story was the most complete, and you could actually see the character grow.
Yeah.
Yep.
All
I
right.
think that's it.
Well,
Yeah, turn down the game
well,
a little bit.
Daniel
here.
sounds exactly the same.
Yeah.
We're a lot slower.
You talk a lot slower.
Yeah.
No, that was good.
I was trying.
All right, well, that was Speech Jammer. So go ahead and check.
Try it.
Shrek that out.
It fucks you up after you use it. I swear to God.
I
pretty
don't
weird.
think so. I
It
think
does.
it's just you.
I think it's just you. You were learning
like,
by osmosis.
I'm
anyway.
doing fine when I use it, and then before and after, I'm like.
I felt like I was a lot
Watch,
louder.
remember you record some other stuff. You're
Oh,
still gonna be
we're
doing.
gonna record stuff later tonight. Probably more Scott Pilgrim for you guys.
Yeah. Maybe I'll be another
We're gonna
block.
we're gonna look to put those out Friday,
Fridays.
until we finish up that series, and then we'll start Let's Playing other stuff. Maybe we'll mix it up. We're not sure.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Dan.
Yeah.
If like when Dan first started talking, he was really quiet. I turned up the gain a lot on this mic, so that you could actually hear
Okay.
what he was saying.
Yeah,
So-
Dan was a lot quieter.
I
You
turned it back
turned it-
down.
All right.
Okay.
Well,
Maybe
I guess that's the end of the
blow
podcast this week, guys.
If
thanks
share your experiences if you use this app. It's what is it called?
Speech Jammer.
Speech Jammer. Share it with us on our Facebook fan page. We'll be happy
Fan
to
page.
fan page.
You called it a pan page last time too.
Yeah,
it is now the
Constant.
pan page.
It's the pan page.
Pots.
Soldier Side Nation.
Pan page. Oh,
Having fun.
yeah, and just
taking
like
names.
share your experience with us. We'd like. I personally want to know how it affects other people.
Yeah.
All right. Again, we're sorry for the weird uploads on the podcast, but
They're
we
having
are where we
technical
are.
difficulties.
We'll get them out as soon as we can. Thanks for listening, guys, and we'll see you next week on Brown Sock.
Tuesday. Love you.
Thanks for
Out.
listening. Bye. He doesn't love you.